Well, hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Chicago. We're over here by the Centennial Fountain, and it's back on again. Our friend Darren Monroe's happy here, and I'm coming on a little early today because I want to head over to Navy Pier. They have added some boat slips to the harbor, and I saw Christopher Dotson was over there. He's still touring around Chicago. He's been posting some good content. We went to Lincoln Park Zoo, and he went to Chinatown. But here we're back at work today. This is the Tuesday after Memorial Day. Hope everybody had a nice Memorial Day. Hey, Rob on the road there, Krista. Thanks for tuning in here. This is the Centennial Fountain. See, we're in Chicago. There's the Trump Tower, the Sheraton here. We're across from the St. Regis. There's the St. Regis Hotel and the condos there. There's the Lakeshore Drive Bridge here. There's a water jet. I'm going to see if that water jet, it should come on in 5 minutes, 4 minutes. We'll stick around here, and I'll just show you. There's some plaques over here. So, hey, Naya, thanks for tuning in there, Julie. Yeah, it was dry. It's been dry for several years. After the pandemic, they were waiting for parts, and they finally got it going last fall. We were able to film it last fall. See, here's the tour boat coming right by here, and they're getting through even before the jet goes across there, which is probably good because it's a little about 60 degrees. It's a little warmer than it was this morning, but there's the shoreline going by there, and we got a lot of architectural tours going. Look, people are sitting here on the bench here with the dogs, and yeah, we're so happy we got it going there. Mary Therese, thanks for tuning in there. Stephanie, yeah, let's show you the underneath here, and then we'll stick around until the jet, hopefully at 1 o'clock, or no, noon, hopefully at noon, and at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, like on the hour. See, we got the Windella boat going by here. Look at this nice view. Chicago River. There's the St. Regis there. And got all the tour boats going through here. Here, let me show you. See, you can walk underneath here. You can actually walk underneath. How you doing? I appreciate it. Thank you. Great. Thank you. Yeah, you can walk underneath there. That's what they're doing. And look, they got these flags here. There's a Centennial Plaza Fountain, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District here. Shows how they reverse the river here. There. Look at this nice. Look how you can head underneath there. You're underneath the waterfall here. And this actually shows how the fountain's laid out here. They got a little 3D plan here. Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, state of Chicago. They're checking it out here. You guys are from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation of the state of Chicago. Here, the Nichols Centennial Fountain here. They got it back on. And see, 1889, 1989. So here, let's stick around here. So I got 1158. So these are actually officials from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. They're happy that it's back on because that's what this commemorates, the reversing of the Chicago River. We'll stick around here probably within a minute or two. They're going to shoot the jet. See, see that pyramid thing? There's a water cannon that shoots a jet of water across the river, and we're going to see if it's every hour on the hour throughout the summer months. They shoot that jet of water across the river there. Yeah, Mary Therese here. Yeah, isn't this? They remember how for a long time we walked by this last year. This wasn't on, and we got it at the tail end of last fall here. And we'll stick around and see if this water jet goes across. It's a nice, look at this. You can actually get right to the waters. You can actually go right to the water's edge. Let's do that. Let's go right down to the water's edge here. And that's where we're at. You can walk underneath there. You can actually see where that person is. There's a person there. You can put your fans in there. And so let's actually get down in here. I never like put my feet in the water here. It's like the little Niagara here. Hey, there's the boat going by. There's the shoreline barge there. What time we got? 11:59. Yeah, let's see if we can get this water jet going across there, and we'll get it with the skyline. But there we go. There's a shoreline barge going through there, Chicago River here. This is looking east towards the Trump Tower. There's the Sheridan. And we're right across from the St. Regis here, 1,100 feet tall. Christopher, there it goes, there it goes. See, look, that's what we were waiting for. There's the water cannon. Christopher, you tuning in just in time. You've been posting some great content there. I saw you made it to Chinatown, you made it to the zoo. Christopher's making some really good content in Chicago. Here we are. See the Centennial Fountain. Here we are. There's all the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago officials there checking out. And we're getting sprayed by the water here. Let me run through here. So, a lot of people taking pictures there. But if you get up this way, you can show how. And in the summertime, the boats could go underneath there. And it's a good way to cool off this water cannon that shoots. And it goes for about 5 minutes, maybe a few minutes. It goes across the river there. Oh, you did stream that. That's good. Do you see this? Christopher, you got the water cannon. That's good. So yeah, you see this is on now. And so what I'm going to do is, you know, because I was checking out Christopher Dotson's stream when he went over to Navy Pier, I saw that they have boat slips now for temporary boat docking there on the north side of Navy Pier. And that's for transient boats there. They've added that. That was controversial because the fishermen like to fish up there. See the Centennial Fountain here. Nicholas J. Milas, Centennial Fountain here. This is at third court. See, this goes right up to Streeterville here. And we got 12:01. Thanks for tuning in. This is usually when I come on my noon live stream. I just wanted to make sure I caught that, so we wouldn't have to wait around at 1 o'clock when I'm trying to get back to work. This is my lunch break here. So Julie, okay. This is the Centennial Fountain. You can look all this up on the internet, but generally in the summer months, every hour on the hour, you noticed it was noon. It was 12 o'clock on the dot in the PM when that thing came on. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Usually on the hour, they run it for about, see, it's still going there. They run it for about 5 minutes. Doesn't run continuously because the tour boats, some of the tour boats don't want everybody to get wet. They have to go underneath it. But it's a water cannon there. It's right at McClure Court in Streeterville, north side of the river there, Chicago River at McClure Court. It's called the Centennial Fountain there. They got it back running there. They turned it on last fall, but by the time they got it up, they only had it for like less than a month, and then they turned it off for the winter. But now they got it going again. Since the Buckingham Fountain's on, most of the fountains are on now that we're past the winter freeze-thaw cycles. But we'll head over Ogden Slip here. We'll check out the construction progress of 400 North Lakeshore, and we're just going to briefly go to Navy Pier because I want to check out they added some boat slips for transient boat docking, so people tooling around the Great Lakes can stay a few nights at Navy Pier. And they got restrooms and showers and things. There it is. There's the 400 North Lakeshore. Look at that thing. It's almost 20 stories tall. Remember, we saw that thing come out of the ground there. So we'll go by there. We'll go by Winter's Jazz Club, and we'll go by the pizza place here, Robert's Pizza. And we'll go by Dorita Art Galleries here. And we'll head right over to Navy Pier here. Elixir, Digby, how you doing there? Post-war? Yeah. See, and I'm not even gay, so you're using a pejorative. I'm not even gay, and I'm sure you're going to use it as a slur, which don't demean gay people by calling me gay, because that's an insult to gay people, and I'm not gay. And shows you the general mentality of people that troll. You know, do you make yourself feel better by putting other people down, or you feel superior in some way by making a statement like that? You're just exposing your own insecurities. It's not going to bother us because people say all kinds of things, and you know, I'm generally for free speech, but if you become a nuisance, we will block you, because YouTube is not free speech, neither is TikTok. It's monetized speech. I'm monetizing my lunch hour here by, you know, I would be doing this anyway, whether I was live streaming or not. I've been doing this on my lunch break. I've been walking around. We got a nice mural that we're going to check out. And so maybe you can like rip apart the mural, since you're not the artist. And since you can't produce anything, all you can do is destroy things. I'm talking about the people trolling us here. But hey, thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to the Dorita Fine Art Gallery. And, oh, I know. I hear you call me Fat Jesus there. Yeah, I get called names every single day I live stream. You think it bothers me? No. Why would I continue to do this? You think I enjoy the punishment? Yeah. The vast majority of people do enjoy this content. No matter what you stream, you know, I'm interested. Hopefully no one was trolling Christopher Dotson. He was producing some great content about Chicago. I'm sure he wouldn't enjoy that statement either. And he's from New York. And New Yorkers, you deal with it too. But here we're heading down the Ogden Strip. We went by Dorita there. Here's the 400 North Lakeshore. Look at that. We're keeping you up to date here. We might cut this out here. So how many stories? Let's count the stories here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're up to 12 stories on the curtain wall. Here, people are getting ready for the boat tour here. Catch some of the boat tours of the Ogden Slip. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There are at least 24 stories. There are 24 or 25 stories now. This is the 400 North Lakeshore development site. This is going to be luxury residential housing. There's going to be some affordable units. I know everybody asked me about the unaffordability of the city. You know, I would agree. But, you know, I'm happy that this was the former Calatrava Spire site. Instead of it being an empty hole in the ground, at least something's happening here. So we'll go up here and we'll check it out, and then we'll head over to Navy Pier. We'll go, I'll just go up here for a second. We'll check out the construction site, and then we'll keep on going here. So thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. We got about 60 degrees. And, yeah. Delo, do you want us to add you to the water there? You know, you want to throw me in the water? You know, is that all you could say? Let's say something positive here. Yes, there are dead bodies in the water, but there's been dead bodies in the water for 100 years. And there'll be dead bodies in the water for 100 years from now, and there's nothing you or I can do about it. So, move on to the next thing. We're over it. Here's the Ogden Slip. There's the Dearborn, Chicago. And look how you can look back to the Tribune Tower. This nice view here. I'm sure there's dead bodies in the water near where you live as well. So what are you going to do about it? Unless you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I'm part of the problem. Here's the 400 North Lakeshore development site here. Here's the Fort Dearborn. See how it's turning around here? Look at these boats. Look at this nice view of the Ogden Slip here. We got all these boats turning around here. There, 400 North Lakeshore development site there. Steve, there's the rebar. That's the rebar for the reinforced concrete. That's what makes the columns. You know, these columns is all concrete, but with rebar in it. Here goes the Fort Dearborn here. So let's go down. Let's watch this Fort Dearborn go. We'll walk along with it when it goes under the Ogden Slip here. So if we're underneath DuSable Lakeshore Drive here. Giordano's, you get some Giordano's there? Yeah, I got good moderators. So if people are doing hate speech, or if people debating people's sexuality or their ethnicity, they will get blocked. And here we got 1209 here. And I can do it myself, you know. And you're welcome. You're welcome if you're in the chat there and you don't like what people are saying. You're allowed to push back. We've got greater numbers of people that enjoy this content than people that don't. So of course, I'm sure people would like to have a conflict. But here, look at this. We'll get this Fort Dearborn heading. I got so much going on now that I'm just gonna trust my mods can handle it here. And here's the Fort Dearborn here. We'll go under the Ogden Slip here. Hey, look at this. Yeah, I work for an architecture engineering firm. I do work with construction managers, people that manage complex development projects, program managers. You know, we're associated with the trades and stuff. But yeah, I don't work construction. I got a cushy office shop, which allows me to walk over my lunch break here. Here's the Fort Dearborn. See, it's going underneath Sable Glacier Drive, and we're just happen to catch it right here. And it's heading out to a tour from the Ogden Slip here in Chicago. 60 degrees. We got 12:10 p.m. here. Yeah, the Cubs have been doing good. The Cubs are in first place there. Maybe we'll go see them on Friday there. The Reds are in town. I grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan. And I know the White Sox already played the Reds in Cincinnati. I think the Cubs did too. And then the Cincinnati Reds baseball team's going to come to Chicago for this weekend for a three game series there in Wrigley Field, I think. But here, yeah, this is still the Ogden Slip here. We'll head right over to Navy Pier. Yeah, Julie, Chris, how you doing there? Thanks for being on, Chris. I appreciate it. Michael, thanks for being on. Yeah, appreciate it. Look at that. There's the Coast Guard station there. And there's the Fort Dearborn round the bend. It's going to head right into the river. You see how the Ogden Slip is the same level as the Chicago River. Chicago River is just a little lower than Lake Michigan. There's a lock there. That's just south of Navy Pier that lets the boats into the Chicago River, and we reversed the Chicago River. I didn't reverse it. It was reversed before I moved there. I was a water reclamation district of Greater Chicago. We saw them by the Centennial Fountain. There's the Sea Dog coming behind the Fort Dearborn. There's Sea Dog's heading back. Probably going to go back through the locks there, or it's probably heading over to Navy Pier. There are a few docks at Navy Pier that are at the riverside, and then the other stuff's on the lakeside. It's interesting. See, like this stuff's on the riverside. History made on Sunday. Yeah, go Cubs, go. Hey, one red gemstone there, Digby. Wes, how you doing there? That's okay, Ernie. We got plenty of mods in here. Don't worry about it. Thanks for being on there. No pressure there. No, actually, even though it's like juvenile, stupid comments, it's really not that flagrant. It's almost like comical what people are saying. It just makes me laugh. Here, we'll head around. Yeah, here's people waiting on getting to the tour. Yeah, they're probably going to get on this large barge here. But there's Lake Point Tower. We show it all the time. Christopher Dodson was just over here. I'm glad, Christopher. I'm glad you were able to. You were at Navy Pier multiple times. Christopher was tuning in. I know he's touring around Chicago. That's what prompted me to go over here. But I'll show you. They added some boat slips on the north side of Navy Pier. I want to see if anybody's using them yet. I know they've been talking about adding them for a long time. See, there's field trips here. I'm sure there's probably a bunch of field trips that go to Navy Pier. There's a children's museum here. There was an IMAX. I don't know. There's a Shakespeare Theater. Fountain is on. There's the Ferris wheel, Navy Pier. Ernie Banks, let's play two. Let's play two. Yeah, we got sunny. Well, it's partly cloudy. Yeah, we'll take it here. But here's the welcome pavilion here. There are some people at Navy Pier. So what we'll do is we'll first go through Navy Pier since you guys are on here. There's the fountain there, and then there's a way you can cut through the underneath and pop out the other side, and we'll try to do that once we walk out Navy Pier. We got 12:14. That's why I left a little early today, because it gives us more time to spin at the pier before I have to rush back to work. There, the Wellness Way, their 1.5 fitness trail there. You can walk all the way. If you walk around the pier, it's 1.5 miles, so it shows you it's the pier itself is 3/4 of a mile long. Isn't that amazing? You can walk around the pier and it's 1.5 miles. Here, see the Children's Museum here, Navy Pier. We'll head across here. Thank you. Yeah, check out the Ferris wheel there, Christopher. Yeah, I don't know how much it costs. It's like 30 bucks, but you know, it's got amazing views. You know, if you catch it at night or during the magic hour, yeah, you saw how beautiful the skyline is from Navy Pier. I'm glad you're checking it out. Hope you're enjoying your time in Chicago. And you see, you know, Navy Pier is very touristy, but I like it that it's free. I'm glad you discovered that the Lincoln Park Zoo's free. Isn't that amazing? You can just walk in, and that's why I tell people, I live next to a free zoo. I live in Lincoln Park. I film it all the time, and people are like, man, you go to the zoo a lot. Well, Christopher agrees. If you live next to a free zoo, take advantage of it. And it's such a beautiful spot. And hey, they're in the glove there. Harry Carey's there, yeah. There's Navy Pier here. We'll head up to the Ferris. So yeah, the Heber Brantley flyboy in 3D form there. Nice photo opportunities there, people taking pictures. And so you can catch the boats over here, the shoreline sightseeing, all the water taxis. And we'll head up to where the rides are at, and then we'll walk to the other side where they got, I want to see if they got these new boat slips here. So hey, how you doing? Yeah, Julie, Jake, take advantage of it. See, you know, look at that. If you spend the time to stay in an expensive Chicago hotel, that's why I try to show people things that are free, like Navy Pier, the zoo, so you can save money, spend it more on your restaurants and your good food and your hotel, and you can still have a good time just enjoying our parks and festivals and not blow a bunch of money on expensive touristy things, you know, because this is touristy, but it's free. And, you know, you can still enjoy it here. We'll head right up to the Ferris wheel here. What time we got here? 12:16. We got about 60 degrees. Chicago, Illinois, Navy Pier. We got 12:16 in the PM here. Thanks for being on here. Hey, we got 146 people. See, people are tuning in to see Navy Pier here. This is great. So yeah, Christopher showed this. They got the putt-putt golf here. And they got the merry-go-round. There's the Ferris wheel. This is Navy Pier. We're up here where the rides are. Now, you do have to pay money to ride the rides. You don't have to pay money to just watch them. It's a la carte, pay per. You get a ticket for that. You get a ticket for the putt-putt. That used to be the palm trees. I saw another Chicago content creator limiting that. Now it's the IMAX. Because they monetize. Hey, riding a merry-go-round here. We'll get him coming around here. He's wearing a nice hat there. There they come. Look at that. Yeah, how you doing there? It's great. So you can ride a teacup. It's just like Disney World here, Disneyland. So here we'll head through here. There's the Ferris wheel. Slightly larger than the original iteration. And we'll show you the lake over here. We'll show you the skyline views. Hey, have a fun-filled day at the Pier Park here. Scan to buy tickets. You can do it all. Associated credit card with the app there, and you don't have to wait in line for your tickets. Hey, here's where we came from. See that crane there? That's where the 400. That's the 400 North Lakeshore is starting to. And look at this helicopter. This helicopter just took off at the Coast Guard. That's a helicopter taking off from the Coast Guard there. And see, that's flying in front of the Adler Planetarium. That's Hyde Park in the background. It looks like a submarine. That's the locks that lead you into the Chicago River. And that helicopter just took off from the Coast Guard there. We're by the steps here. They got the steps. And Ferris wheel, Navy Pier here. So here, let's head around here. Yeah, people having fun here. Running up to the... yeah, look at that. Going up the stairs here, going to check out the rides at Navy Pier. Hey, so they got a stage. Ferrara Candy Company there. Ferrara. Yeah, they usually do. In years past, we were here where they bless the vessels on the Great Lakes. There's a whole ceremony they do in the springtime. There's a concert venue there. Here, we'll show you this. Yeah, happy sounds there. Yeah. Go to Indiana if you want the stripper clubs. Go to Indiana. People go to Indiana for cheap tobacco, stripper clubs, fireworks, and cheaper gas. There's much cheaper gas in Indiana, so everything's cheaper in Indiana there, including the adult entertainment there. So yeah, I not that that's what this channel's about. I'm pretty PC, as people know, and pretty, you know, family friendly here, but I do curse every once in a while. But yeah, I would even if they, not that I know much about them, I wouldn't even recommend the adult gentlemen's clubs in Chicago, because they're expensive and they got all kinds of restrictions, and I don't think you'll like them if you like that, because it's just a way to get money out of your pocket. So if you're going to do that, go to Indiana. Your money will go a lot further. That's all I'm saying. Here's look at the skyline here. There's the skyline of Chicago. There's the South Loop, and here we'll head by the Shakespeare Theater. We got 12:20, so I'll try to cross to the other side. I'll see if I can find a place where I can cross to the other side, and I want to check out the new boat slips, and then we might go over to Ohio Street Beach. And so here, Navy Pier. There's the Ferris wheel. Here comes that helicopter. Helicopter's coming back. It's already coming back. It's like we're in Vietnam here. Yeah, Navy Pier's feeling fine. The weather's 60 degrees. It's gonna warm up. It might be 70 by Friday. That would be a great day to go to a Cubs game. Let's see if this or a Sox game. The Sox are in, I think the Sox are in town. The Cubs, no, is that gonna land there? I'm watching this helicopter. I think it's gonna land there right at the Coast Guard there. Yeah, so it took off, and there it is landing there. That's by DuSable Harbor. Look at that nice view to the Roosevelt. We're just catching this helicopter landing there on the helipad there. It's landing on the water. No, it's landing right there. There's a helipad right there, right by the Coast Guard station there. There's the St. Regis there. 86, yeah, it's supposed to, by next Monday, a week from now, or less than a week from now, we will be back in the 80s. It'll finally start feeling like it should be June. We've been having unseasonably cool weather here. It hasn't bothered me. At least the sun was out this weekend. I know it was cooler than it was cooler than beach weather. The beach wasn't that crowded. Here's the Shakespeare Theater. There, we'll go by the Windy here. The helicopter just took off again. It keeps landing and taking off. I don't know what they're doing here. But here, we'll watch this shoreline. That's the water taxi. That'll probably go over to the museum campus. That's a nice one to take if you want to get good skyline views. You'll be able to see the whole skyline. You go in front of the Buckingham Fountain and stuff, kind of with that. But so I'm gonna head inside here. I'm gonna see if I can walk to the other side and check out the boat slips here. So Navy Pier, there's the Sea Dog. Oh yeah, it's the lake. The lake keeps things cool until, and by the time it warms up, then it cools right back down. So I don't know if I can get across here. Parking, pay downstairs, the garage doors here. Yeah, so that's the elevators here. So we'll have to, there's a way to get to the other side. I think I have to walk further down here. So here, we'll tootle inside Navy Pier. I'll show you the inside of Navy Pier here a little bit. Yeah, I got to go through the parking area. That's what I'm trying to do here. There's a way to cut across. You just have to go further down, I think is what it is. Oh, so I should go up those elevators and actually go through the parking? Yeah, that's a good idea. We might get lucky here. Yeah, I think there might be a way to... It kind of goes close there. I don't know if there's a door or not here. Try to get across here. No cashier. This is the West Garage. So now we're in the garage here. So this is the parking garage in Navy Pier. You see how they have a lot of space. So there's the outside. I just got to find a door that allows us to exit over there. And see, yeah, there's a parking exit here. We need somebody to come in the garage here. There's a door open over here. Okay, bear with. No, I see it when it's time, so bear with us here. There's like so be waiting in line, and it's all up. You can see it from Lakeshore Drive. But here we'll head at this door. And good call on going through the parking garage here, because this is where I want to be here. So if I lost my connection here, hopefully it'll come back here. We're on the north side of Navy Pier here. There's still good skyline views. And you see, this is, if you're a car, usually access to Pier from the north side here. And see, plenty of parking. So here, Navy Pier Marina. This is it. So they got restrooms and showers. This is all container ship. This is all. There's the helicopter. There's the helicopter going through the Jardine water plant there. But look at all these boat slips. They added all these boat slips for temporary boat docking on the north side of Navy Pier. And here it is, the Navy Pier Marina. They got the longitude and latitude. Look, he's working on it there. This is brand new. They're still doing the final touches here. You see, here's the Ferris wheel there. Stream's good now. Thanks for staying on there. Yeah, I lost my connection when I went to the parking garage. Thanks for staying on here, because I just wanted to see. I headed through the parking garage here to get to the north side of Navy Pier, because I want to show this. This is brand new. They added this Navy Pier Marina. This is going to be showers and restrooms for people, transient boat. People can come, and if you live on the other side of Lake Michigan and you want to take your boat and go around and have a weekend in Chicago, you can dock right here. I mean, I'm sure there's rates. You have to, you rent a slip. There's probably electrical and water hookups. I don't know if there's electrical and water hookups, but there is facilities, which that's what they're adding there. And look at that barge there. How you doing? And hey, Lorraine, Ernie, yeah, you haven't seen that? Yeah, it took a long time. Lisa, you know that this has been in the planning works probably for years. You've heard about this. This was announced right around the time of the pandemic. And see, some of the fishermen were against this, because a lot of people like to fish on this side, but there's other places you can fish. And this is the Jardine water plant, and we're on the north side of Navy Pier, and they added these slips here. We got 1228. Thanks everybody for staying on there. Yeah, nice views of the downtown there. You can see back to the John Hancock, and you can see to the Streeterville skyline. So that's where we're heading. We're heading back to Ohio Street Beach. See, there's Lake Point Tower. There's Navy Pier, the Ferris wheel, and that's where all the rides are and stuff. But I just want to show these transient boat slips, that they're finally here, and it's a nice amenity if you own a boat. And even people in Chicago could use them if you want to. Look, they're on the drop there. Ah! Up and down, shake them around. Yeah, you get a nice view of the skyline there. Yeah, the playpen. Yeah, this will help out the playpen, because just north of here, and we'll show it later this summer where all the boats go in there when it gets warmer. The playpen, yeah. Hey, you're coming here with your mom and the kids there. Pre-proto. Thanks for tuning in there. It's great. Thanks for checking out Chicago. Yeah, India's tuning in. That's great. Like the flag. Yeah, it's nighttime in India. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, they got they're using the recycled shipping containers. There's a lot of shipping containers available now. since trade is kind of being impacted by the tariffs. So I'm sure you can get shipping containers if you want to build a shipping container house. Probably really cheap right now. They're all piling up. But or maybe not. Maybe the price has skyrocketed. Yeah, it's night in India. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We got 12:30 in the afternoon. Here, look at this helicopter. Look at this helicopter heading. It's the Coast Guard there. They're doing maneuvers or something. Look how it just flew right through there. It flew right next to Lake Point Tower there. Coast Guard there. Yeah, there was a proposal to expand Navy Pier. It's in the plan. Yeah, it's still being considered. Thanks, Ernie, for the good info there. Yeah, that's Chicago. Well, look, thanks for tuning in. If you just joined, see, this is Navy Pier. There's the Ferris wheel. We're on the north side of Navy Pier. They just added all these boat slips, and they're, see right there, they're adding a Marina club there. It's made out of shipping containers. It's pretty bare bones, but I think there'll be restrooms and showers for transient boats that dock here. You have to pay to dock, and then you could hang out at Navy Pier. Isn't it? It's going to help out the pier. I think there'll be more people use it, and then people go up and down the Chicago River as well. You know. Hey, yeah, Dark Knight, Perth. Yeah, The Dark Knight was filmed in Chicago. Many Batman movies. We show some of the filming locations. Perth, Australia. Yeah, you're already in late at night there, or you're already probably next early Wednesday morning here. We got Tuesday afternoon, the day after Memorial Day, and the holiday that we celebrate here in the United States. I know it's not an international holiday. So we'll head past the butterfly garden. There's a butterfly garden here. I think they had this last summer and they kept it again. So there's a butterfly garden in Lincoln Park at the Peggy Notabart Nature Museum. This is the butterfly house near Navy Pier. This costs money. This costs money to go inside here. And look, they're taking field trips. It's good for field trips. Here's Lake Point Tower. We'll head over to Ohio Street Beach, and then we'll head back into Streeterville here. Hey, they're doing a group photo there. Yeah, in front of the butterfly. I'll see you. See, they got this fountain over here. They got a nice fountain in front of Navy Pier. There's the entrance to Navy Pier here, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, that's a nice group photo there. In front of the butterflies there. Yeah. See, everybody's on the bus here. Oh, we missed the bus. Remember field trips, taking field trips to the museums. Yeah, riding the bikes here. It's actually a beautiful day. It's like low 60s. And oops, go ahead. There you go. It's good. And hey, they got the fresh mowed grass here. So there was a restaurant at the top. Is there still a restaurant up there? I don't know. Yeah, the Magic School Bus. Navy Pier shuttle. Yeah, before the pandemic, they used to have trolleys, and it would take you around. There was even trolleys that went up to Lincoln Park Zoo, but I haven't seen them much since the pandemic. You just have to take a bus. The 66 bus will get here, 29. You can see the numbers here. That one's waiting. Yeah, sometimes it's a hike to get to Navy Pier from the hotels. You feel like you're walking forever, the long blocks in Streeterville. But it's worth the walk. And at least I think it is. Yeah, so try out the shuttles. Yeah, you see, Christopher, you see how vast Chicago is. I know it's not as vast as New York City, but you know, you're just, I'm glad you're seeing some good stuff there, but you're just scratching the surface. I mean, everywhere you go, you discover more things. And you went up to Uptown. Christopher went to Uptown there. Did you check out those theaters up there? They got those beautiful theaters there on Broadway. And Uptown is some beautiful architecture. We're downtown because I work downtown, so that's why we're gonna head over to Ohio Street Beach here. We got 12:34. So I checked off my goal for today was just to check out those boat slips. And thanks, Christopher, for walking by there. That's what I saw in your video, that they were there, and I'm like, oh, they're installed. Because the last time I was over there, I didn't even see them. We did see some construction stuff there. It might have been hauling material for it. That might have been what that was all about. Here's the Olive Park. There's beautiful views. That's where we went when the Chicago Hinge. We went out there, and that's where we got the Streeterville skyline with the setting sun there on March the 20th. The equinox, the Chicago Hinge. We went, and it's named after Milton L. Olive III. He lost his life in Vietnam War. So Memorial Day, we should memorialize. He really lost his life by saving his platoon by falling on a grenade. That really happened. You know, all those stories, and it was early in the war, like 66 or 67. But here they got the kayaks. Let's just see. Let's go to Ohio Street Beach. This is the closest beach to the downtown. Of course, Oak Street Beach is at the north end of Michigan Avenue, but this one is right at the end of Ohio Street in Streeterville. It's a small little pocket beach, but they got nice little waves here, and they got a bar and a restaurant here. So hey, they got the kayaks here. They're playing volleyball. And there's that little, see, you can go out in that little pier there. They call this Cafe Olivia here. And see the high rises, that's all Streeterville here. Here's people, the lifeguards are on duty. Cafe Olivia's open here. You can come out here for lunch. And
you just want their IGs, that's why you're inviting them.
Oh yeah, you can get some really great, go right over there to where that diving platform is, and you get amazing skyline views to John Hancock and the whole Streeterville skyline. See, lifeguards are on duty here. They said they were able to get enough lifeguards, which is great. So here, I'll let you listen to the waves here. Lake Michigan, we got about 63 degrees, light breezes here. Maybe it's a little cooler by the lake. And that water temperature is just above 50 degrees, so it's still pretty cold. Yeah, we got enough lifeguards. Yeah, you get some nice skyline views from Olive Park. So they got lockers here. I mean, it's amazing. They actually got real lockers that you can use at the beach would help out. And they rent out these little beach chairs here. That's right. What? Yeah. Oh, Sebastian's tuning in for Poland. That's great. Yeah, Michael. Yeah, if you missed it at the beginning of this video, you know, you can wait till I'm done here. You can rewind it to the beginning. And we checked out the Centennial Fountain. We caught that water jet. We might get it again at 1 o'clock. Hopefully I'll be bound to Michigan Avenue Bridge by then. And that's where we're going to try to get to. We're going to go back through Streeterville. We'll go under USABO Lakeshore Drive. But this was Ohio Street Beach here. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, look at all the wayfinding there. See, you can look all the way up. The bike path runs along the shore there next to Lakeshore Drive. And we'll head, the bike path comes down through here. This is all housing. All luxury residential housing next to Ohio Street Beach here. There's the W Hotel. The W Hotel is right there. At least it was. Is that still the W? I think it is. I don't see the W up there anymore. Sand and surf. Oh yeah, Pete. Thanks for. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's why, you know, people are like, stop streaming the tourist areas. I'm like, if you live by Navy Pier and you live by Lincoln Park Zoo and they're free, wouldn't you go check them out? I know people in Chicago get bored of it, but, you know, I just go there and people watch. You know, watch the animals, watch the boats go in. I mean, you know, that's what life's about. Enjoying the park, the sunshine, the beaches. If you can't enjoy that, what can you enjoy? You know, I know it's cold in the wintertime, but you learn, it makes you enjoy the beautiful days all that much more. Because they're rare. You know, if we had perfect weather every day, we would take it for granted. And so here we're heading under this pedestrian tunnel. You hear all the birds in here. We'll pop out Ohio Street here in Streeterville. Yeah, they got some nice mosaics here. We'll check out these mosaics. Yeah, thanks, Christopher. I'm glad you enjoy it. And that's good testimonial there. Someone from New York realizes, you know, just the fact we got those big, long bus stations there. They're not all over the city. They're in the loop there. That's for the Link station. That's why they're so long. They're the ones downtown. It's the express buses that get you to the Ogilvy and Union train stations there. And there used to be a lot more commuters before the pandemic that would come in from the suburbs, but so many people work from home that they built that right before the pandemic, and it's not as used as much as it would be, but they're still there. Yeah. See America first. You know, oh, there you go. So here we'll head to, see, which way should we go here? Yeah, let's head around here. Underpass, the lakefront, Ohio Street Beach, Navy Pier. That's where we just came from. Here's DeSable Lakeshore Drive, Lake Michigan. We'll head around here. How you doing? Streeterville. Bunch of streets and sidewalks. There's Lake Point Tower. Yeah, this is kind of funny. You go around here, the sidewalk's like raised. There, Court Furniture. That's the furniture store here. Taco, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Taco jalapeno salsa. Yeah, you know, if you could truly enjoy the stuff that's around you, you take a vacation every day. You don't have to get on a plane. You don't have to sit in traffic. You don't have to pay a bunch of money. I pay high rent to live where I'm at. I'm going to enjoy this city in the summertime as much as I can. We still go to Texas. We still go other places and visit family. That's what it's about. I'm going to spend Father's Day with my father, traveling to Texas so he can be with his grandkids, because I'm such a horrible person. I didn't provide him with any grandkids, you know. Not that I can, you know. I would have to convince a partner to help me out there, a nice woman to help me. Not that, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for just spending time here. You think it would have happened by now? There, Molly the maid. See, JD Vance is on me. I'm not a true American because I don't have like 20 kids, and I'm increasing the population of the earth there, so they can recruit them for wars and things like that. Here, Molly maid. I'm joking. It's the way it is. But if we head across the street here, let's see, this is called the Peshtigo Court. No cars coming, so let's go. Let's go here. We'll cross the street here. So we'll leave the Navy Pier area. There's the 400 Lakeshore. You can see it straight down here. And we'll try to go through this park if it's open. There's a nice little park, 1242. So this is Grand Avenue. This is Grand Avenue we're on here. Yeah, JD who? JD who? Hey, there's a electric unicycle whizzing by there. Look at that. Look how fast it goes, faster than the traffic. But this is mostly what Streeterville looks like. It's a bunch of high-rise condo towers. We have a few parks here. I'll show you this park here. There's a dog park. See, that's back to the St. Regis. We'll head that way. See, they call this Bennett Park. Bennett Park, and they got the doors. The fence closes so you can let your dog off the leash here. Bennett Park. There's the 400 Lakeshore right there. So you'll be able to see it from Bennett Park. Hey, Christy M, that's great there. Matt, how you doing there? Wes there, that's good. Travell. Yeah, where's the women at? Where's all the women at? Sally. Yeah, thanks for checking out. I'm glad it's useful information there. And now you can see they got a playground here. This is called Bennett Park. This is in Streeterville. And this is on top of a parking garage. They were able to do these undulating hills because they got styrofoam. They got, just like Maggie Daly Park, they have styrofoam on, so it doesn't add a bunch of weight to the parking garage underneath here. And there's a dog park right here. And even within the park, there's a dog park. And if you just joined me in Chicago, this is Streeterville. This is called Bennett Park. And it's near Navy Pier, but a little in from the lake here. So you bring your dog here, go over to the dog park. See, this is all a dog park here. How you doing? Yeah, Sweet Home Chicago. Yeah, there's a few little bit of blue sky. So here's the dog park. They got one side and then the other here. You can let. I don't know why they make the dog parks all concrete. I guess so you can pick up the dew there. Please close the gate behind you. Okay. So we went in one side and out the other there, Bennett Park. So there's this big, longshoreman's hall type thing. It was a warehouse. That's where Ogden Slip's on the other side there. Man, Chicago misses you to the east there. So now we're at Illinois Street. No, this is not Illinois. What street is this? Yeah, this is Illinois Street. This is Illinois. Okay, good. So here, we'll head straight. We'll cross to the other side here. There, look at that nice view. You get to the St. Regis here. There's a Target store here. This used to be something else, but Target took it over. There's this nice view looking down McClurg Court here. And we'll try to cross the street here. There's Streeterville looking north there on McClurg Court there. Look at that nice tower there. It matches the sky almost. And there's a statue to Streeter over there. We've already checked that out. So we'll head up past the AMC theaters here. There's a X-Bowl. Was it the 7-10 split or whatever they call it? Here's where all the teen takeovers used to happen. They used to happen around this movie theater for some reason, but I think they got it under control. At least I haven't seen any recently. I guess there's a curfew and all kinds of other things going on. Yeah, it's sad. Sad what's going on. It's a sad, sad world. We're all just doing the best we can here. Here's the AMC theaters, the bowl here. This is bowling alley. This is Illinois Street. There you can see to the St. Regis there, Lowe's. We'll get right up back to Michigan Avenue. We'll go through Pioneer. We'll see if there's some food trucks over here. Usually there's some food trucks. And on Fridays, they've been having food trucks at Daily Plaza, but I'm always doing something on Fridays, so we missed it last Friday, but we'll catch it eventually. It'll be going on the whole summer. Hey, look, the kid in the backpack there. Yeah, I feel at home. Hey, Travell, Rahul, how you doing there? Yeah, they said it was a blockbuster weekend for the movies there. I guess the Disney movie, I don't even know much about it, Lilo and Stitch. There was some other movie, some action movie. I guess there's a Superman. Is there a new Superman movie? Is that what's the big blockbuster there? Well, here, look at this nice skyline here. This is called Park in Illinois Street. You can look back to the Sheridan. That's the Lakeshore East skyline here. They got this little plaza. We'll try to get across the street here eventually. I'll show you this plaza because we're waiting for the light here. Park in Illinois here. We're still in Streeterville. Yeah, they got, see how you can, there's a parking garage. You can kind of head through this little place. It used to be a big clock with like arms and time, but they had problem with the clock working there. You only could see the clock from above. Like if you look down, it looked good, but here we'll cross, this is where Columbus becomes Fairbanks. Columbus changes names. And look at them, we're heading over towards the Tribune and the Wrigley building here. That's where we're going here. We got 1249. Yeah, hopefully we'll be on the Michigan Avenue Bridge and we can look down and see the water jet. Right, so we'll have both the start and the finish of the water jet there. Here we got the light. So you see how wide the street is here. You get narrows down as you head north here, but it gets really wide as you head through the park going that way. We'll go up the stairs here. We'll get to the upper level. You see the multiple levels here, multiple levels of Illinois. You can clearly see it there, the lower level. This is actually the ground, and when you go up there, it looks like you're on the ground, but you're really not. Yeah, new Mission Impossible. That's what it is. New Mission Impossible. Thanks for the good information with the movies there. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Tom Cruise says he wants to do the movies forever. Keep on going. He looks like he's ageless. He's older than I am. He's still doing action movies. That's great. Be like Harrison Ford, still doing action movies when he's like 80. Hey, we'll head over to the Wrigley building here. Yeah, new Mother Nature. We'll sing the Guess Who song. Hey, Naya there, Lorraine there. How's everybody doing there? All the Michaels. Hey, look at that view. You got the Tribune, the Wrigley, Trump Tower, the old Equitable Plaza. Now they just call it 401 North Michigan. We're on Illinois Street. And they want to build a new Tribune Tower, but they never... It's been on, indefinitely on hold. So I don't think, I'm not holding my breath because they're not starting construction on it. It's too uncertain of a market right now with the tariffs and stuff. So even like Lincoln Yards is indefinitely postponed. Some people might be celebrating that. But here's the Optimus signature. We're behind the NBC Tower. There you can see the St. Regis across the street here. That's where we came from. There you can see the 400 Lakeshore rising up. I'll sing the Rocky song. Here's this park in front of the NBC Tower. You can look back to the Aon and the Prudential. They're making more progress on that mural, and I showed it this morning. I might cut it out. They're making progress on the mural there on the back of the Prudential building. We'll show it. If I don't show it when I end this live, we'll show it when I start my 5 o'clock walk home on TikTok there. You're a hacker? Are you gonna hack us? Are you bragging about your hacking rights there? Or your hacking skills? Should we be afraid? You're gonna hack and take us over there? How you doing there, Rahul? Thanks for tuning in there from India. I appreciate it. Here's some taco trucks here. Thanks for tuning in to YouTube. That's why I got accounts on multiple platforms. Hopefully you can't hack them all. Hey, get your food there. So here we'll go past the Museum of Ice Cream. We got 1252. There's the Tribune. Yeah, where's the unruly Julie Reed? She was in here earlier, but she might have had to go back to work or do something, or we might have lost her when I went through the parking garage there. You know, I always run the danger when we had a good group of people tuning in there, and I lost some when I went in the parking garage there, but it worked for me. Otherwise, we'd be still stuck there trying to get through. Here's Museum of Ice Cream, Pioneer Plaza. There's the Wrigley building and the Trump Tower behind it there. But hey, it feels pretty warm. I'm breaking a sweat here. To me, this is the ideal walking temperature. You know, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's sunshine, it's not raining. It's not overbearingly hot. Look at that nice view to the Wrigley building there. Pretty clouds there, yeah. Greece, how you doing there? Rapanakis Petros. Yes, thanks for tuning in. We got a lot of Greek American heritage here. My big fat Greek wedding was filmed in Chicago. We got a Greek town. We got a Hellenic museum. We got Greek Orthodox churches all over the city. Thanks for tuning in there. Look at the from Greece. There's the Wrigley building. There's the Tribune Tower. People are sitting out here. Yeah, they got the flowers here, the 401 North Michigan. There's the Apple store. See to the skyline here, but look at that. Just keep focused that way. It's not too hot. Yeah, it's not too cold. You only need a light, light jacket. Yeah, Miss Congeniality there. How you doing there, Lisa? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Yeah, Christopher Dotson went to the Lincoln Park Zoo. He discovered the free zoo. And he's like, if I had a free zoo, I'd go to it every day. I'm like, I agree. That's why I live next to the zoo there. There's the Apple store. And Lisa's visited it many times. I've gone to it with Lisa. Here, we'll head by the John Baptiste Point du Sable statue. There's the Wrigley building. So we got 1255. I'll stick around here. We'll try to get to Centennial Fountain from the other side of the river there. Should be able to zoom in. We'll end it with the water jet there if I can get a nice vantage point. Hey, we'll cross the river here. We'll see if there's any boats coming. Oh, so they're lifting the bridge there at State Street. They're probably working on the bridge. That's why they're lifting this. You can't cross it. They have it closed to pedestrian and street traffic or vehicular traffic. Here's the DeSable Michigan Avenue Bridge here. See, we're right underneath the Wrigley building here. Here's North Michigan Avenue, Tribune Tower, Trump Tower, and then there's the yeah, piece of Lisa knows her stuff there. Ernie, yeah, thanks for hey, D. Michael there. Oh, Budapest, yeah, thanks, like Vuki, yeah, thanks for tuning in there. Oh, somebody's tuning in from Budapest. That is awesome. Yeah, the Wrigley building. Will Robinson, how you doing there? Used to work, yeah. Oh, Ernie worked at the Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah. So yeah, Lisa, Ernie worked at the Lincoln Park Zoo. He could tell stories about the haunted stuff too, you know. And see, look at that. We're all connected here. And so Lisa worked at the Omaha Zoo. And they're loading up the boat. So what time we got? 12:56. So if I get up over there, we might be able to see the water cannon here. So I'm going to walk along Wacker Drive, and we might see some more boats go through here. There's the Chicago River looking towards the lake. Yeah, people taking pictures. Okay, good. Good. See, that's a good photo there. You get a photo in front of the Wrigley building there. There's the Marina Towers. Hey, they're selling the lottes and all the fruitas. There's Fannie Mae. There's the Blackhawk store, 333 North Michigan building. There's the Chicago Architecture Center. And look at that view. You get that amazing view to the Wrigley and the Tribune here. There's a little electric boat. We'll get this little electric boat going by here. Look at that. You can rent those little electric boats. That's an easy way to get on the river unless you take a water taxi, or you don't want to drive it yourself. You can take a water taxi. If you rent those little electric boats, modestly reasonable, still pretty expensive probably. There's the Chicago Architecture Center. Yeah, thanks for checking it out there, OG. Oh, the big cat poo. Yeah, I bet that was nasty. They feed them all that meat there, you know. But here, 12:58. The reason I'm heading this way, there's the St. Regis, there's the Hyatt Regency. Hopefully we'll be able to see this water jet. And we saw it, if you rewind to the beginning, that's where we started. We actually were underneath the fountain. I just thought it'd be funny to book in the whole live with the beginning and after of the Centennial Fountain, and we should be able to see it once I get up to this perch here. Maybe not. It's hard to see over the Columbus. Here comes the boat here. We'll get this architectural tour boat coming under the Columbus Bridge there next to the Sheridan. Yeah, the Museum of Science and Industry is down in Hyde Park. It's about 6-7 miles south of where we're at. We're in the downtown here. But yeah, Museum of Science and Industry is great. We've been down there before. I was down there with Chris. We saw the cherry blossoms there at the beginning of end of April there. Hey, look at this beautiful view. So there's over to the John Hancock Optimus signature, the Glacier Center from the University of Chicago. There's the NBC Tower, and there's the Odyssey dinner cruise boat, and there's a Linnea, just a regular architectural tour boat there. There's Stetson over to the Prudential buildings. But hey, we got 12:59. There it goes. There it goes. There's the Centennial Fountain. It just started there. Look at it. See how it increased the water pressure. And there's the water jet there, heading across the Chicago River there. There's the Centennial Fountain. See, we started the live there, and we'll end the live here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Thanks for checking out this footage of Chicago. Look at this beautiful view. And I'm going to cross the street here. So thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday here. We'll come back on after 5 there. And if you missed any part of this, you can check out. We went to Navy Pier and walked through Streeterville there. So thanks for tuning in. Check out that Centennial Fountain. We'll see you after 5 tonight on TikTok. Thanks a lot. Thanks, mods. And thanks everybody else for tuning in. We'll see you later there. Appreciate it. Have a good afternoon. Thanks a lot. All right, bye.